Hey kids, remember a couple months back when I bought a $5 Nintendo gift card and used part of those funds to buy a cheapo Space Invaders ripoff? Well, here's another ripoff thing. Released in 2022 for Nintendo Switch from Eric Games, I presume that's the name of the company, I don't recall. Minepull is a blatant ripoff of the Taito arcade puzzler Plotting, aka Flipple, an exciting cube game. Except instead of controlling a little tan blob thing, you're controlling a miner person who must toss blocks at other blocks to clear them from the board until you have one of each icon remaining. You do this by shooting blocks at other blocks bearing the same icon you have, which will clear any blocks of the same type of way until it hits a different block that ends up on your lap. If any blocks with a new icon can be cleared out, you keep playing. But if there are no openings matching your current block, either because they're buried in rubble or there's just no more of that type on the board, then the game ends. Now on the one hand, puzzles are generally easier compared to Flipple. Not necessarily in complexity, though to be fair some of these can be cleared fairly quickly, but also in the fact that you have no time limit, so there's no rush in doing the deed quickly, you can take your time with these. On the other hand though, if you mess up, it's game over and you have to restart the level, whereas in Plotting you had multiple lives. Now Minepull does have a stage select that lets you play all the levels you've cleared, of which there are 72 in all. There's also a 2-player versus mode, which isn't all that different from Flipple, which we've covered previously in prior videos, and I enjoyed that game quite a bit, so this naturally had me intrigued, and also its price point. And that's about it really. Minepull is Flipple with a different skin and some slight differences in gameplay and features. Not too drastic, but if you played Flipple, this will be familiar fare, and if not, there is a tutorial that teaches you how to play. Though don't let the sluggish nature of this one segment throw you off, because credit where it's due, this is a good piece of plagiarism. Gameplay is fairly solid and spot on in regards to the core mechanics, and from what I've played, doesn't seem to be particularly broken. Maybe that happens further down the line when you get to the final levels, but then again, this was about $1 and change, so I'm not expecting much here other than mere competency, and I got that for the most part. Controls take a little getting used to, but is otherwise quite functional. You use the stick or the D-pad to move your little banana around while pressing the L and R triggers to launch your block, which is kind of awkward, but otherwise functional enough. Y button resets the level, A button is for accepting prompts, and B is for quitting the game. Very exciting stuff, I'm sure. Minepull is not what I would call a pretty game, but it's enough to communicate what's going on to the player. Your stock miner person on the left, colored tiles on the right, brown blocks that occasionally blend with the background, which is always fun times when used as obstacles for the main playfield. As for audio, the music comprises slight remixes of stock classical tunes that changes every 10 levels, which is a choice for this sort of thing. And the sound effects are also stock sounding stuff, nothing special in this regard here. Overall, if official Flipple proves to be costly of a download for your wallet for whatever reason, then Minepull provides a much cheaper alternative that's nowhere near as good but plays well enough for what is essentially a cheapo knockoff thing. Uninspired but otherwise inoffensive. No poop ribbon for this one, Minepull gets a pass.